El Clasico final. Everyone wanted it, and everyone's gonna get it. All the neutrals, everyone that's been asking for it, please let Barca and Madrid win so they can face each other on Sunday. You got what you wanted, man. Barcelona win against Osasuna, despite the fact that they weren't convincing, bro. Like Osasuna had a couple of chances in the first half. They had a couple of chances in the second half to score. Like Budimir missed about 2 to 3 chances, but Inaki Pena was very solid. Inaki Pena, in my opinion, was one of the better players for Barcelona. But to talk about the game itself of Barcelona, it's not something that, from a Barcelona perspective, it wasn't convincing at all. It wasn't convincing at all. It wasn't like it was a dominant performance despite the scoreline of 2-0, despite the fact that they kept a clean sheet. It was more like that first half, that first half could have gone either way. Like, Osasuna could have scored 1 or 2 goals. Barca could have scored 1 or 2 goals by Lewandowski or by Christensen as well when he had a couple of chances from the corner. But the biggest talking about, let's talk about the first half. Barcelona went into that game with a midfield of Gundogan, Frankie, and Sergio Roberto. Sergio Roberto, the moment he went off, the moment Pedri came on in the second half, you could clearly see the massive gap and the massive difference between the two. Because the first 60 minutes when Sergio Roberto was playing, Gundogan and Frankie was playing quite deep and they had Sergio Roberto quite advanced. Well, every time Frankie or Gundogan picked up Sergio Roberto, you could always see the hesitation. You could always see there was no IQ or awareness. There was people behind him. So he instantly lost the ball. There was so many times that Sergio Roberto could have made that extra pass, which would have led to another attack, but it was missed. He completely missed it. The first half, we saw Lewandowski, a complete Lewa performance. A complete Lewa performance. We saw him miss about 3 chances. We saw him drop deep to create, which didn't lead to nowhere. We saw him, there was a couple of times when he got the 1-2s, but he completely finished the attack. Like, completely ruined the whole passage of play, the whole attack. At one point, and that first half, I saw him literally on the left hand side move like a running back, bro. He was moving like a left wing back, like a left winger. Every now and then I saw him on the right hand side, literally on the right hand side, bro. Not even where he needs to be. So the first half, Barcelona was all over the place, and there wasn't a clear identity and a clear strategy from Xavi. I felt like it was just like, you man, do what you have to do. Whatever happens, happens. The second half, the moment, yes, they scored before Pedri came on with that Lewa goal, but it didn't come out of nowhere. It was more like a defensive mistake by Osasuna. But the moment Pedri came on and the moment Joao Felix came on, Barcelona had more control of the game and Barcelona created a bit more. And I don't know, man. Pedri is such a special footballer, man. If you don't rate Pedri and if you don't think Pedri is talented and if you don't think Pedri is amongst the best midfielders in the world, then honestly, you're either a hater, you either got an agenda, you either don't like Barca, or you just don't appreciate the game of football, honestly. Like, the guy is such a talented and such a wonderful footballer, man. So gifted. So gifted. Every touch of his, it actually you get excited, man. You get excited. Even Joao Felix, when he came on, there was a lot of talking points pre-game and over the past week that whether Xavi is happy with Joao Felix, whether Joao Felix will be heading back to Atleti because Barcelona don't want to renew that loan contract. Honestly, man, listen, Joao Felix, when he performs, the Joao Felix that we all know, the Benfica Joao Felix, every now and then the Portugal at the World Cup at the group stage Joao Felix, when Joao Felix is on his day and performs at the highest possible level, the level that he knows, he might be one of the most dangerous players in the world. But this season, which I do agree with, he's been very, very inconsistent throughout the whole season. We always see patches of him, we always see stretches of him. like 2, 3 games where he performs at a great level, whether that's on the left hand side or whether that's as a false nine. But we don't see it on a consistent basis. Hence the reason why Xavi might be unhappy. And I understand the frustration from Barcelona fans, because a lot of Barcelona fans are not a fan of him. A lot of Barcelona fans are quite frustrated that he hasn't fulfilled what the promise was and what the potential was when he first came to Barcelona. It started well early on. It started well, and of course, the goal against Atleti as well. Beside that, but it hasn't been consistent. Every time we see one game, we see 2 games, and then he would go on a run of 4 or 5 games without doing absolutely nothing or without being dreadful in so many ways. But if he performs, him coming on changed the whole game, because the second goal, bro, it was literally 80% of that goal came down for him. The nutmeg, the him progressing the ball, and the vision. He could have easily slotted it to Liwa. He could have easily slotted to Liwa, but the IQ to see Lamine and the vision to see Lamine, and Lamine had an easy shot from the left hand side. He could easily see it, but it wasn't convincing of Barcelona. So that's why heading into this Clasico game, it doesn't matter. Listen, every time when it's a Clasico, it doesn't matter whether, if you're on a form, if you're like on a 20-game winning streak and you're going to a Clasico, it always starts 0-0. And over the past 2 years, Xavi has got Ancelotti's numbers in most of the Clásicos. And it's going to be a chess game, because Inaki Peña is, of course, going to be starting, and we've got Kepa starting. I'd rather have Inaki Peña. I'd rather have any goalkeeper at this point. But the biggest question mark heading into this Sunday is how Carlo Ancelotti is going to be putting his starting 11, and who's going to be playing, whether that's at the defense or whether that's at the midfield, whether it's going to be Luka Modric or whether this time around he's going to be playing Kroos as a starter. And for Barcelona, it's going to be a question mark whether Pedri. We've seen that Pedri the last 30 minutes, and clearly he looked fit. Clearly he looked very healthy. Whether Xavi is going to be saying, you know what, I'm taking the risk of Pedri. I want to play Pedri literally 90 minutes. And the question mark whether Rafinha is going to be healthy enough, and whether it's going to be Lamine Yamal on the right-hand side, and what's going to be happening on the left-hand side, whether it's going to be Joao Felix or whether it's going to be Ferran Torres. So there's a lot of dilemmas and question marks heading into this game, and I'll make a video about it specifically. I'll talk about the previews or whatever. This video is mainly about the Barcelona-Osasuna game and what happened. I'm not too concerned about a lot of things. The only thing that worries me in some way is how the defense, specifically when it comes to Nacho, because I feel like Nacho will be playing that game. And of course I will be concerned because Kepa at the moment looks very likely to start. I'm not confident at all, because they've got Liwa and we've got Kepa. It's a mid-off at this point. It's literally a mid-off. But I'd rather have the mid of Liwa than the mid of Kepa. And I've got a weird feeling that Liwa's going to be scoring on Sunday, especially if Kepa starts. But I'm relying on Rudiger, and I'm relying on, most important, Dani Carvajal to keep Joao Felix quiet on the right-hand side. And I'm relying on Ferran Mendy to keep Lamine Yamal, because I feel like Lamine Yamal is going to be starting that game, because I don't think Rafinha is going to be healthy. But it will be a midfield battle. It's going to be Frankie, Gundogan, Pedri against, most likely, it's going to be Toni Kroos, which I'm hoping Fede and Jude, and of course Tchouameni might be starting as well. It's going to be a very interesting game on Sunday, which, like I said, I'll be making a separate video today. But the best 3 players, in my opinion, for today's Barcelona game, first of all, it comes down, in my opinion, straight away. Inaki Peña, in my opinion, dropped a very great performance. Very solid. The save against Bunami in the first half, where Arujo got cooked. And even the second half made 2 good saves. The second, in my opinion, who dropped a very good performance, low-key dropped a very good performance, is Frankie de Jong. But he always, in my opinion, drops a very underrated. No one really highlights what Frankie does. He always goes behind the scenes and behind the radar. And last but not least, Pedri, the moment he came on, man, the game changed for Barcelona. The creativity went up another level. And let's see what Barcelona's going to be doing on the Sunday. But Liwa, I'm so happy you scored, bro. Honestly, I'm so happy. I want you to score moving forward every single game, and keep scoring, brother. Not against us on Sunday, but keep scoring every time, man. Get your goals, broski. Stat pat, bro. I want you to score 20, 30 goals, man. I want to see you next season for Barcelona in the starting 11. Don't let me down, broski. But guys, I'll see you tomorrow with another video. and it's going to be a preview of Real Madrid and Barcelona. But in the meantime, Barcelona fans, give me your thoughts about the game in the comments, and give me your prediction for Sunday as well. See you then.